Well, that looks completely rubbish at the moment, but that's fine. Trust the process.
Hi there, I'm Janine, I'm an artist and I share my creative journey on this channel. Welcome back. If you're new here, I share my intuitive painting process, I share some tips along the way, and if you have no idea what intuitive painting is, you'll find out, especially in this video. And if you're just interested in what an abstract painter does, how an abstract painter creates paintings, there's many different ways to create paintings, but if you want to see how I do it, you're in the right place. I have been working on these little panels, quite small, and I wanted to add these to my larger painting, so I want them to be kind of cohesive. And I have already painted quite a bit on them. If you haven't seen that, I'll link the previous videos down below. So as I was trying to go to sleep yesterday, I had this idea, and most of the time when I have an idea like that late at night, I think it's brilliant and then I do it the next day or whenever, and it doesn't actually turn out very good. So we're going to try it today, and the idea was basically that I am going to put a layer of glazing, so a solid colour but transparent, over most of the panels to make them a little bit more unified, cohesive, at least the colours, and then I'll add some scribbles on top to make it more about the scribbles, and then a few other ones I think I'm going to maybe also add some glazing and then add some neutral colour shapes on top. We'll see how it goes, and let's get into it.
Let's start with the ones that I definitely want to glaze. So we'll start with this one. I think I want to add kind of a pink colour to this, or it'll probably be more the red. I'll add a touch of blue and see what happens. So add the red and then a touch of the blue, just to make it a little bit cooler. And I don't want it to be super solid. So I'm actually going to wipe some of this. And I might leave a few little bits like this yellow. And now it's all a lot more cohesive than it was before in terms of colour, but we're of course going to go back into that when it's dried. I'll just bring back some of these yellows because I do quite like those. On this one I do love the blue, but I do want something else here as well. Do I want to... Let's just go with the blue, see what happens. I would like to have them, to keep them quite light overall, so I might have to go back in with some lighter colour. Also, I'm going to add some of this fluid matte medium that I use a lot. I'm sure you've seen this before. Just to make it a little bit more transparent. And you could use glazing fluid, for example, but I want it to dry quite quickly anyway, so we're just using that. And you see that Neocolor that I added wasn't actually fixed, so it's going to merge in with these colours. I was actually going to fix it, but I forgot, so we'll roll with it. I quite like the pinkiness of this one, so maybe I'll just add a little bit more of that warmish pink. Add some of the medium. Bit of yellow, bit of... probably too much yellow, we'll see. Maybe it'll be more orange. I don't mind the scribbles dissolving now, because I will probably add some more scribbles on top as well. I do really like the vibrancy it added here. So I'm leaving the rest, but I've just added a little bit of glaze here. This is probably my least favourite one at the moment, so I think I'll be a bit more experimental and go quite different. Let's try maybe a green, because I haven't really got any green on the others. So we'll try it. I like this side here actually with the yellow and the bits of the lighter blue. even that light shape here. So I'm going to leave that. And also this corner with the pink, I think that's a nice contrast in terms of colour. And this one I do actually love. Thinking whether I think I'll keep that one without a glaze. This one I also love. Yeah, I don't think that needs a glaze. This one, love the yellow. Do I want to add more yellow? No, let's leave that. Again, love the yellow, love the pink with it. I think the blue is a nice contrast. I do like this. This is a bit more neutral. Wondering whether to add a slightly brighter colour. I don't think so. I think I'll leave that. And I really love this one. I love the blue with the yellow, that contrast, bits of orange, and then the subtle pink. Really like that. Now I want to go over with some neutral colours. So first of all, I'm going to mix all my 3 primary colours, or my 3 base colours I should say. They're not really primary colours, because the yellow is actually a yellow oxide, which is a bit more muted. I'll just try and make that as neutral as possible, and then I can mix with that. I think I also want to bring in something like a burnt umber. Got a little bit left of this burnt umber. That's also Daler Rowney System 3. Most of the paints I use are Daler Rowney System 3. That yellow oxide is actually a golden one. So I'm going to mix some of that burnt umber with this base colour that I've just mixed. And I think I want to add a lighter colour here.
If you like this video, consider subscribing.
So I'm trying to leave the bits that I like here at the moment. I might have to get rid of them one day, but for now I'll keep them. And what adding a neutral colour does here is that it makes the brighter colours look brighter, because they'll have something to play off of. Let's also add a little bit of the darker colour in some bits. And it's still looking very messy, very hectic, but it's fine for now, and then I will later on fix the composition and that a bit more. Don't know if we're going to do that today. We might just focus on playing with paint today. And I'm just adding a few more neutral bits into the areas that are already a little bit more neutral. I also want to bring a little bit of texture back here. Actually, I have an idea, because I really don't like this one at the moment. I'll use this roller. Let's add some more of the burnt umber. Burnt umber? Yeah, that's what it is. And then because it's now looking very, very warm and yellow, I might add a bit of blue. And a little bit of red, maybe even. Interesting. Not sure I like it, but it's interesting. Let's scratch some of it back. I think I'm going to make some of this red a little bit more neutral too, just to add a bit more variation. Right, we'll leave that to dry before I mess it up even more. So I really want this to be about the blue. So let's add some neutral colours, especially over the areas that aren't blue. Not that I want it all to be blue, but blue should be like the main star of the show here. And it might be that I have to get rid of some of the blue first and then add some more blue back in later. But that looks completely rubbish at the moment. But that's fine. Trust the process. I love how that's just softened this area. Also, this burnt umber is always quite misleading because it dries very different to what it looks like now. It will be much darker. It will be much more like this kind of colour. It looks a little bit poopy right now. I don't think I want to add anything neutral here. I think the light pink and this bit of brown already kind of acts as the neutral, and this is already really vibrant in comparison. So I think I like the green, I don't like the blue. So let's go over the blue. So this stage is what I call the messy middle. Lots of other artists also call it the messy middle, and it is very common to lose faith in your ability as a painter, because this looks probably like the worst thing I've ever made. Not really, but in the moment it feels like that. And if you paint intuitively, it will happen to you as well. It's just part of the process. And you have to trust the process because it will look great in the end. But we're definitely not there yet. So I love this. I think what I could do here is actually make this a little bit calmer. I mean, it's already quite calm, but just make it a little bit more unified. I can't remember which colour I used, but it's probably a mixture of these two that I've pre-mixed a while ago. And I think I want to take some of these darker lines back just a little bit. I think this has gone a bit too light. So maybe it was fine as it was before. I don't usually like painting this precisely, but I am enjoying it right now, so I'll do it. On this one, I do probably want to add a little bit more neutral colour. Quite sure where, but I think the neutral colour here could be that mauvey colour. Maybe I'll just add a few more bits here. I think I'll also add some of the mauvey colour. Maybe over this, maybe this doesn't need to be as stark. Adding a little bit more texture here. So I feel like I'm struggling with this because I don't want to mess it up. Maybe it's also already enough. Maybe it doesn't need any more neutral colour. We'll leave it for now. I think I want to just add a little bit more light here. And then I do love this, but I think I could do with something just a touch more vibrant. And I think I am going to fix these lines here. Might not make you watch me do this. I'm also going to leave this one for now before I ruin it. And this one I will add a little bit of the other colour. I've already got some down here, so I'll just bring some up there to balance that out. Now this is not liking that one. Let's see if we can wipe off whatever's not fixed yet. And I think I want to maybe lighten it a bit first, and then actually why don't we add some of this light pink here and some of the darker pink too, and then this will just be very pink, and we'll take it from there. Maybe even a bit of yellow. I already think that's much better. I like the yellow. Should we add a little bit more yellow down here? Don't want to do another brush, so I'm just using my finger. And this one, also horrible. Do love this one though. Maybe I'll just make that all blue and go all in. Very transparent, this ultramarine blue, so it'll probably look quite different again when it's dry. I think this one is too dark, so I do still want to try and keep it green, but much lighter. Just add a touch of pink, because why not? One thing I like about this catalyst wedge is that it just smooths out the brush strokes a little bit. Okay, not loving it at all at the moment, but I do want to add some scribbles to them before I finish for today. Let's add some of this orange. This has gotten very dark. I'm going to balance that yellow on this side here. Maybe even extend this. Maybe a bit of this warmer one as well.
So at this point in the process, I'm feeling quite deflated because I am not very happy with them. Some of them I'm quite happy with, but I don't know. We'll see. They're still not finished. I don't know how much longer I'm going to work on them. But I'm actually going to be at the other art fair in London in October. If you're around, I would love to see you, and hopefully I will have some of these finished by then. If you're maybe a bit new to acrylics and you think I would like to give this a try, but you don't know where to start with your acrylic paints, or maybe you've been painting with oils before or watercolour, or want to get more into this kind of painting, which really needs, well, the acrylic really helps because of the drying time and because you can layer and you can fix things again. So I recommend downloading my free guide that I've linked in the description box below with some tips on how to get started with acrylic painting and what you need. And we'll work on these some more next time. Thanks and bye bye.